Hey YouTubers, thanks for joining us today. What I'm looking at today is a bit of a passion of mine, and that's cards from the 80s and early 90s. But in buying any cards, it's really difficult to ensure you're getting the authentic product. So today I'm just going to run over a few little things that I use when I'm looking at cards that are of these eras. To give you a little insight, traditionally, printing was offset printing for all cards. This involved a process of transferring ink from a plate onto a rubber blanket and then onto the printing surface, hence why it was called textile printing. This process pretty much results in a dotted format of ink dispersal based on the type of plate that is used and the rubber blanket. This puts out a particular type of printing texture, and unless you have that exact textured plate, you won't get an original, or should I say an authentic matching print. Alright, the cards I've got here lined up are the Kenners, typical iconic cards, predominantly found with your Kenner toys. There was never ever any reprints of these, so if anyone's got reprint, it's a fake. But yeah, it's difficult to tell which ones are which, so let's have a look at it. Yeah, I think it's this one might be the real, or is it this one? Anyway, let's keep going. Okay, the first card we're just going to have a look at is the 88 Kenner starting lineup with Mr. Jordan. I'm just going to zoom this in. You'll notice this first one here now is going to show the texture. Now if you have a good look at this, you can see that there's a dotted format, and you can see a pattern, distinctive pattern. You will get other cards that'll have a dotted format, but they won't be in a regular pattern, and this regular pattern will determine that it's an authentic rather than a fake. Check that out, pause, get familiar with it. If we have a look at the next card, we'll see that this format's actually a little bit blurred, the actual dotted pattern. That's because it was digital. And the digital is a finer print, so it's not going to have those distinct lines. So just get your eyes in on that one. We'll compare the two of them, and you can tell me which one's which, or maybe I'll tell you. There you go. There's the fake, and there's the real. And even if we have a look on the back of these cards at the NBA logo, you can see. So even if we look at the NBA logo on the back of the card, just notice the print. Notice how it's actually white with a blue dotted texture for the background. That's so they can try and get that white very similar to authentic card. But if you do your magnification, bring that up, it'll stand out, and you can see that it's not original. It should be just a white, flat white. You'll notice in the next picture that I actually have, there's none of the blue dotted tone in behind, it's the white card. This one's got some blotching, and that's due to the card actually being wet at some stage in its life, and that's the ink poured. You'll notice that in some of the really old cards as well, the ink does bleed, and you'll see it being either red or a yellow, whatever the main colour is on the front, on the borders, will bleed onto the back, and that's a good way to tell an authentic one too, as well as going back to the textures and that dotted format. And if we compare the two, it stands out quite a bit. You can see the big difference in the two of them. If we look at this first picture, as I was saying previously, when they did the offset printing in the early days, it'd be a white would be the base, and the colours would go over the top. So you can see straight away with this white, you can see those dotted tones in through it, and that's just the way the pigments were mixed with the inks in modern to get it the white colour. And that stands out, really easy to focus on. to white. Any of the colours that are mixed to make it a certain colour, such as in a portrait or a picture of a player, they will be a dotted tone pattern. We'll have a look from that one onto an authentic. Okay, if we look at the authentic, you can see just below the ball, you can see that dotted format. Particularly if you can go from a light to a dark somewhere on the card, it will stand out even more. Throw it under your magnification and you'll pick it out straight away. This card looks like it might be fake because of the horn on the ball. You can see a double line. That happens sometimes in regards to textile printing. What will happen is the actual cardboard might have some blotches, the paper may have blotches in it, and it doesn't stick to the plate as well. So when they put down the printing colour on the rubber matting, the paper will lift slightly and give a flick, and that flick give it that extra line. So that's not always an indication of it being a fake. That can be an authentic card with that, and that's just in the printing process. Okay, the next one we're going to look at is the 1990 Kenner, the starting lineup of Michael Jordan, the rookie year, 1984 card. This one you'll see a lot of around the traps, particularly on eBay, and I don't know whether people know they're fake or what's original, but there's quite a lot of them getting around. We're going to zoom in on this one, and we're going to have a look at his left shoulder first. The reason I'm doing the left shoulder is you've got a light colour with a dark colour. It makes your pattern stand out even more. So always look for that light and dark transition. You'll be able to pick out dotted format out a lot easier. So this card's got, if you have a look at anywhere on it, you'll pick out the difference with those colour variations. Look for the light and dark and then to the dotted tone. Alright, we look at these bull emblems now on the bottom right hand corner of the card. You'll notice a big difference here, particularly with the fake one. Out, have a look, take time, have a look and pick out a few spots on the card to compare. Alright, we're having a look at the 1991 edition of the starting lineup, as well as the 1990 Brown starting lineup. A couple of things to look at here, just so you have an idea how sharp this Bulls logo is. Very sharp when it's magnified, and in regards to that white, a real standout. When we have a look now at its starting lineup title, you can see that is very sharp also under magnification. There's no blurring on the lines, very sharp. And then there's a few more images of his foot and his hand, and you can see that pattern, definite pattern through there, which makes it stand out, as well as looking at that light and dark contrast, the arm and Jordan's tongue, very sharp. And even when we go into looking at the 1990 edition Brown starting lineup under magnification, it's very sharp. I'll throw in another one in here. This is his arm print, which is sharp also. So next card we're looking at here is a license reprint. You'll see a lot of these fake ones particularly on eBay. And these reprints are only up to 2,000. I've used this just as an example. If you have a look through it, particularly the dotted tones, the magnification of the printing text, really good, really sharp, and that dotted tone stands out, so they're straight away something you can pick up. This next one's another iconic card of Michael Jordan's, the Fleur. Have a look at these images, see what you think. See if you can pick out whether it's a real or fake. Have a look at the colours. You might be able to see a little bit of the surface, the colour there, and also the little bit of magnification on the Fleur emblem. And what do you think? Yep, it's a fake, but expensive one. Yeah, that was me. Learn by your mistakes, I say. So we're looking at this LeBron card. In contrast, these modern fake cards may attempt to replicate a look like digital prints by using advanced printers and the digital reproduction methods, but there's still subtle differences in the print quality, the colour accuracy and the resolution, which can help them be distinguished from authentic cards. Additionally, examining the cards closely for irregularities in the printing process, such as the visible dots, uneven colours or lack of fine details, can also help identify these fake cards. You would have seen Spot the Difference, Caging Cardboard's YouTube, where he did the Fleur and he looked at spotting those differences. That's a great step, but the one step prior to that is always looking at the dotted tone. Get the dotted tones right, and you know it's going to be original because that can't be replicated. The newer cards, they will have a dotted tone, particularly with large commercial printers, but in regards to replicas, they wouldn't be doing always look for that dotted tone. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's insightful. You can learn something from it, whether that be good or bad, or my view, but hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, hit that like, subscribe, and share it around. We're all here for the same reason, our joy of cards, so enjoy. Thank you.